Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Bayloric Worldwide Television, boxing feature, sports feature. We're talking Haye Bellew, we're talking the weigh-in, we're talking post-fight or post-weigh-in thoughts, post-fight thoughts. God, the fight's already over in my own mind. That's not good. So we're post-weigh-in thoughts, final thoughts, analysis. For those of you who don't like real talk, for those of you who don't like reality checks, for those of you whose heads in the clouds, and for those of you who believe in illusions, I'm about to smash a lot of those illusions now in this session. What I'm going to do is say welcome to everybody in the room who is watching. I'll turn that volume up and we'll do that again. Okay. I've got a lot of things in my mind to talk about, and I want to make sure that I'll make sure tonight that I nail these things right first before I forget about them, so that I don't afterwards don't say them. So I've got to say them when they're fresh in my mind. So forgive me. It's about being logical tonight, but before we be logical, I'm going to say good evening, Mikey. Good evening, Marky BA. Good evening, Neil Funk. Good evening, Hassim. Good evening, Reese Mason. Good evening to you all, those who are watching via the chat, and those of you who are watching outside the chat, those of you who just waving hello to you. Shout out to my man, Brian Jennings. Brother, I hope you're well over there in London. It's a shame I couldn't be in London at the time, but I'm really glad to see you're fitting well. Glad to hear you're sparring with Mr. Haye, and look forward to see you back in the ring soon, brother. And look forward to having you back on the show about Bayloric Worldwide Television. We certainly miss you and we love you. Okay, so shout Honest Bob's in the room, Tiva Tap's in the room. I don't want to keep going on and on and on, but I thought I'd look at things from a different angle again tonight, because there's only so much you can say. There's only so much you can say to people. There's only so much you can talk about things. There's only so many things. Wagwan, yes, Vander G as well. There's only so much you can waffle on about this fight. There's only so much you can say, because it is what it is. But anyway, a few things I want to point out. Remember when I said to you all last night that David Haye is not a cruiserweight, but he's a heavyweight, moved down to cruiserweight. I said that to you all before, and I said he's not a big heavyweight in terms of today's heavyweights. But back in the time of Ali, you remember he said it in Ali, Fraser, Thurman, Cooper, Liston, Norton. Back in the day, he would have been a big cruiserweight. So today, David Haye is an average heavyweight cruiserweight. Talking like Bellew now, an average. He'd be a big heavyweight in today's society. He's an average heavyweight, 16 stone. Rather, when you look at people like Klitschko, who are 6'7", Tyson 6'9", Joshua 6'5", 6'6", you're talking a height there, and you know. But remember, Lennox Lewis at one point did weigh 16.5 stone. I think he weighed 16.5 stone when he got knocked out, 16 stone 5 pounds when he got knocked over by Oliver McCall in the first fight, and then Manny Stewart bulked him up. So now I want to break a few things down here. First of all, this thing about, well, David Haye's not a big heavyweight. Again, he's not a big heavyweight in today's terms, but 16 stone's big. And that's put on, but it's natural because he's naturally that big a guy. When you look at somebody like, you know, he's a heavyweight moving down to cruiserweight. When you look at someone like Tony Bellew, who started his career, who was at his career like heavyweight, right? And was getting knocked down by Wolf McKenzie. Then he moved up to cruiserweight and he got knocked down by, he's been knocked down various times his chin hasn't improved from light heavyweight to cruiserweight. And there is a question mark as to whether Bellew moved up to cruiserweight because he didn't fancy the opposition he was facing at light heavyweight. He knew he wasn't going to beat Stevenson. He knew he'd get smashed by Kovalev. So he moved up to cruiserweight. There was a vacant title there. He fought cruiserweight. And all this talk about Bellew and his knockout power. For heaven's sake, open your eyes, people. Bellew couldn't knock out Nathan Cleverly, who got dispatched in a few rounds by Sergey Kovalev. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, there's always been a question mark about Bellew's condition. He doesn't look like a guy. I've always been convinced that he's not a guy that I feel is conditioned to optimum. He's always given me the impression that he's a guy that does just enough, and his trainer just does enough, just enough with him. I've always felt that. I've always said he's a good boxer, but not great. But I've always said it. He isn't a natural heavyweight. And if you look at, well, he fought in the heavyweight as an amateur. Okay, fine. But there are a lot of guys who fought in the heavyweight as amateurs, but they ain't going to fight there as pros. And I don't know how much the heavyweight weight was then as an amateur. Andre Ward fought as a light heavyweight in the amateurs, I believe. But Andre Ward explained why he fought as a light heavyweight in the amateurs, right? Glenn McCrory. Remember Glenn McCrory when he fought Lennox Lewis? He was a cruiserweight that moved up to heavyweight. What happened when he met a real natural heavyweight, McCrory? Lennox just walked and mauled him, took him out. And McCrory put stones in his bloody, I think in his jeans or something, as he said, to weigh in to ensure that he looked big at the weight. So do you really believe between the time Bellew's fought at cruiserweight, his last cruiserweight fight, to now fight heavyweight, that he's made the heavyweight division that easy? If Bellew really wanted to fight Haye and fight, why didn't he take an interim fight to get himself ready? It's like the same thing with Kell Brook moving up in weight. This is a guy that has been at the weight much longer, and he's been knocking dudes out at the weight. All right, David Haye. Next thing, they're talking about David Haye's body and his muscles. He's going to blow out. Listen, David Haye's 36 years old now. It's not like he's suddenly like put packing muscle on his body now. He has performed with power and devastating power with that weight on him. He's done it. Not in one fight. He's done it in 2 fights now. 2 fights he's done it in. Oh, yeah, well, he hasn't done the rounds. Well, he hasn't needed to do the rounds because the opposition hasn't been good enough. What people need to ask themselves the question is, with the Worm and with Demore, these are 2 natural heavyweights. They're not blown up heavyweights. They're not guys that have moved from, Demore didn't move from cruiserweight up to heavyweight. Nor did the Worm or the Cobra. These guys are natural heavyweights that Davis put his fist through, right? Natural heavyweights. Natural heavyweights. So there's no kind of stuffing myself with pies and getting myself bigger. These guys never need to do that. These are guys natural heavyweights, naturally bigger and naturally stronger than Tony Bellew. But somehow, in some way, Tony Bellew is going to move from cruiserweight up to heavyweight. He was never a fast light heavyweight. He was never a fast cruiserweight. But suddenly he's going to pack more weight on and he's going to be faster. Can you work the logic out on that? I can't work the logic out on it. Okay. At a light heavyweight, he was easy to hit. At a cruiserweight, he was easy to hit. Now he's a heavyweight, he's going to be even more easier to hit. Hold on. If he wanted to win the light heavyweight championship of the world, he had to avoid a guy with one hand, a left hand, which is Stevenson. And he couldn't even avoid a left hand from Stevenson. When Stevenson corded him trapped into the ropes, what happened? Stevenson zinged in a left hand, and what was it? Just remember that left hand that landed on Stevenson. Okay, forget the left hand that landed on Stevenson. That Stevenson landed. Think about the right hand that Makabu landed, and Tony Bellew that night was a stone heavier than Makabu, and he went over. Just imagine David landed that same right hand. Just imagine BJ Flores when he was landing all those right hands. There are some people who that's just the way they box. Tony Bellew throughout his career has been open to a right hand. Now, All these points are, now here's another thing. You need to understand the various people that are doing the punditry and asking questions and answers to. You've got to understand the relationships. It's like you're going to different gangs, right? You're going to gang A, gang B, gang C. You may have, so you've got two gangs. You've got a gang with Haye and you've got a gang with Bellew. There are people who are talking don't like Haye because of their previous relationship with him. So, for example, if you go and ask Anthony Joshua, well, Joshua doesn't want Haye to win. Well, why doesn't he want Haye to win? It's a bit obvious why he doesn't want Haye to win. Let me tell you something first and foremost. Let's get something categorically clear here. There is a lot of people that are praying. I'll tell you, there are people who may not have been religious until Saturday night, yeah? But on Saturday night, they will be saying their prayers, and their prayers, they'll begin asking, oh, I hope that David Haye has regressed. I hope he hasn't improved. I really hope he doesn't look spectacular. I hope he's shot warm, and I really hope that Tony can take him to the second half of the fight and expose him. So then I can turn around afterwards and say, you know, on that performance, David Haye isn't ready for Anthony Joshua. I'm hoping and I'm praying. Hey, there are people that are saying those prayers at the moment. There are people saying these prayers at the moment. I'm telling you. I am telling you, they're on the prayers and they're hoping. They're asking. Look, you got DeGale and you got Groves. So you ask DeGale, who do you think is going to win the fight? Let's check the history there. The Groves and DeGale. Didn't they have a fight once? Wasn't Adam Booth training Groves? Didn't David Haye jump on the bandwagon and turn around and say he wanted Groves to beat DeGale? So now Haye's fighting Bellew, and what's he going to say? Oh, yeah, I'm backing me mate. I'm backing me mate. Let it be said, there are a lot of people in the boxing world who'll tell you one thing. They'll take a sneaky bet down at Ladbrokes and be betting money that Haye knocks Bellew out in the first round. Let me tell you that now as a fact. All right? So a lot of you are going to in for a shock come Saturday night, because I've seen things already in David Haye. I know people are saying, oh, the David Haye that was trained. You got to ask yourself the question, who's the better trainer, Adam Booth or Shane McGuigan? You know, people are making Tony Bellew out to be something that he's not. Look at the facts. Open your eyes. Go and look at Tony Bellew's fights. Show me a fight where Tony Bellew hasn't got nails. Well, go on, bring me the fight where Tony Bellew boxed perfectly against a big puncher. Name me one fight. Go on, pick me any fight Bellew has had that he hasn't got into a ruck or got caught or got tagged. See, people like, when it comes to these fights, these big fight, pardon my French, big fight bullshit, right? Where these pundits come out and they create fighters that are not Tony Bellew, or they say, oh, well, you know what? As long as he doesn't get hit, tell me which fight he's had where he hasn't got hit. Oh, if Tony can stay out of the range for 4 or 5 rounds, well, if he's staying out of the range for 4 or 5 rounds, which means he's not engaging. Well, if he's not engaging, that means he's not tiring David Haye out. If he's not tiring David Haye out, then 5 or 6 rounds of Tony Bellew running around the ring avoiding David Haye. Who's going to be tired after 5 or 6 rounds with the extra weight on them? It's not going to be David Haye, is it? It don't logically make sense. The only way you're going to make a man like David Haye tire is for you to engage him. The reason why Carl Thompson beat David Haye is because he engaged him. But let's look at Carl Thompson a second. Oh, Carl Thompson, natural cruiserweight. Carl Thompson takes a great shot. Carl Thompson, a former world champion. Carl Thompson was the reigning champion at the time. I think he was IBO champion. Carl Thompson has heart and grit. When you talk about people, you know, he talks about maybe Holyfield. Oh, he's a blown up cruiserweight. Holyfield never got chinned as a light heavyweight. Holyfield never got chinned as a light heavyweight. Did he? Did he get chinned as a light heavyweight? Did he get chinned as a cruiserweight? No. The first time he got chinned was at a heavyweight against Riddick Bowe, who could go down with the ability he had as an all-time great. Bowe wasted his talent on the food. Great heavyweight. great heavyweight. So when people are here talking garbage about, oh, Tony Bellew just needs to get through the first few rounds. What? Well, how is he going to do that? Slow footwork, poor defense, questionable chin, never been hit in his... Oh, well, Tony Bellew's been a heavyweight before, and he did get hit in the chin. When was that? When was that? Listen, I think you all have to... You all that believe that Bellew's going to win this fight have fell into the sky trap. Even David Haye is worst. He's still going to hit Tony Bellew. It's what happens. And so Bellew couldn't knock out Nathan Cleverly, but he's going to knock out David Haye. Yeah, of course. Tony Bellew is going to be faster at heavyweight than he was at cruiserweight. Of course. Tony Bellew is going to be, because he's moved up to heavyweight, he's going to be a better boxer at heavyweight. Of course. He's going to be technically better, right? He's not going to throw out that sloppy jab and get caught with a punch over the top. Really? Really? Look, there's a lot of people hoping in the camp of... People don't like Haye because of what he's had to say. Fine. I don't condone David Haye's what he's had to say. I'll tell you something. If this goes wrong and Tony Bellew gets badly hurt, there will be some fingers pointed at whoever decided to put in a contract that Haye could come in any way he wanted to. That's not protecting your fighter. Just give him my gloves and give him my shorts. That's what a manager and promoter there to protect their fighter. Just give him my shorts and my puncher's glove, and that's it. Really? Haye and Bellew are not in the same class. I'm telling you already, this is a mess match. If you don't end in one, it ends in two. But I believe it's a one-round blitzer. One round. That's it. Absolutely one round. Bellew, you're knocking no one out, right? And all you guys have got high hopes. It's a mismatch. And I'm telling you now, it's a mismatch. So when the fight is over, I don't want to hear afterwards, oh, well, I don't know what happened. It's going to get blitzed. It's going to get knocked out, and probably pretty badly as well. But it's going to happen. That's it. And I really don't. I don't see. Just think, Macabre hit me that right hand and he bowled over. Forget towels. He ain't going to get near the towel. I'm telling you. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. So depending on who you listen to, ask you the question how they're associated to Bellew, how they're associated to Haye. Okay. So there's lots of, you know. But I'll tell you something, you're going to see a better David Haye already, because you're going to see a David Haye who's got a better jab. You're going to see a David Haye who's got better inside work. You're going to see a David Haye that when he gets Bellew against the ropes, and he will get Bellew against the ropes, because Bellew corners himself. Go back and watch your Adonis Stevenson fight, a light heavyweight. You footwork. Go and watch him. Go and watch him against Adonis Stevenson. When Adonis Stevenson started closing the range down on him, what did Bellew do? You tell me when you tell me a fight when Bellew has, and he knows how hard David hits, or the possibility of him getting hit by David Haye. So he's going to be super cautious. Super cautious. He's not going to come out like Hagler and Hearns and try and blaze with David. Forget it. Not happening. As he knows he gets knocked out inside 30 seconds. Not happening. So he has to go onto the back foot and run around the ring with the back foot. Hope to catch David on the counter. That's all Tony Bellew can do. Hope to catch David on the counter. Hope that he's got hand speed coming up from cruiserweight to heavyweight. Hope that David's a little slower. Hope that David at 16 stone isn't that fast. Well, believe those things. Bellew's never been sparked out yet. Well, all right. Well, on Saturday night, you're going to see it. And then when you see it, come back here. He's talked a lot. Bellew's done a lot of talking. Bah, 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 bah. Go and watch this season fight. If the referee was more lenient, look at the left hand that he caught him with. He was running. He was trying to get away from the shot afterwards. It was hit so hard. That's Stevenson hitting Bellew. Look, he almost took his head off the shoulders. Think about that. Imagine, go back and watch the end of that Stevenson fight. end of that Stevenson fight, and then put David Haye punching him. Think about that for a second. All right, just think about that. Think about Mark Demore when he backed up against the ropes and he got nailed with a right hand. Think about that. I'm just putting the facts out for this fight. And I tell you now, David Haye has not trained for Tony Bellew. He's trained for Anthony Joshua. He's going to give you an idea of what to expect should he fight Anthony Joshua. That's what it's about. And he's going to be leaving a message out for Anthony Joshua. But go and put a bet. Go and put a bet on Tony Bellew to win the fight inside 6 rounds. Go on. Second half of the fight. Or I want to ask you how he gets. No, everyone says you push. I wish I could interview some of these people. You push these people who say, "Oh, well, Tony's going to get to the second half of the fight." Ask him how they get in the second half of the fight. The only way he's getting to the second half of the fight is if he pushes David Haye. Remember, Chisora pushed Haye for 5 or 6 rounds, and he was blowing out of his ass. But the only reason why he was blowing out of his ass was because Derek Chisora is a pressure fighter. Tony Bellew is not a pressure fighter, right? Derek Chisora, up to the point he fought David Haye, had never been knocked out or dropped like that. And he'd been with Vitaly Klitschko, arguably one of the biggest punches in heavyweight history. Okay? Another big puncher, Helenius. Say what you want. Helenius was a big puncher. He was knocking everyone out. That's 2 there already. All right? So, I don't know where these ideas come from. I don't know where these ideas of Tony Bellew being... I don't know where they come from. I have got no idea. Nigel Benn lasted against McLennan, first round 1. Nigel Benn should have been disqualified in that first round. When he got knocked out the ropes, the fight should have been done. Because it was a Don King promotion and people want to get their money's worth, that allowed Ben to get back in the ring. Let's have it be right. McLennan won that right to fight in the first round. So don't start turning things around now. It's a sickening. You're right. A sickening mismatch. And when Bellew's out on the deck and he's been badly hurt, question will be asked. I hate what David is telling you, but he's telling you the truth. And David never called for the fight. Bellew did. Bellew and his promoter called for the fight. Remember all of this. David's going to gas quicker. For David to gas, I've said it 4 or 5 times, Bellew's going to have to bring the fight to David. A fighter, if you understand anything, a fighter doesn't gas unless he's put under pressure. So what you're trying to tell me, or trying to logically put out, is that Tony Bellew's going to come forward and chuck all these punches at David, and David's going to just take it. And he's not going to happen, because as soon as he engages, he gets nailed. It's like a time bomb. He's like a mine. He sticks that mine, boom. And this is the difference between British and European class and world class. Big difference. A world class fighter, you make one mistake, boom. Bellew's never fought anyone like that. Apart from Adonis Stevenson. You see, he made a mistake against Adonis Stevenson, boom. This isn't Masterneck. This isn't Cleverly. This isn't BJ Flores, and it's not Makabu. This is a different scenario altogether. I just pray that he comes out of it okay. Right. So pressure, when you put pressure on a fighter, that's how they tire. When you throw body shots to a fighter and you make a fighter have to push, that's how they tire. You don't tire a fighter out running around the ring, counter punch. You don't tire a guy out like that, just running around the ring. Nonsense talk. Right, I've said my bit. Now I'm going to hear what you, the public, have got to say. Okay, like is this evening on? Haye knows, McGuigan knows, Hearn knows, Caldwell knows. The entire Bellew camp know. And after the last few days of watching Tony's body language, he knows he's in horrific danger. Gonna be brutal. Mikey B.A. says, let's go, Ingram. Mikey B.A. continues, I still say Caldwell throws the towel in. As if the towel gets there in time. Mikey, I don't think Haye puts him to sleep. Really? All right. Mike is, but Penfold will need a towel in touching distance. At the end of the first round, when Bellew goes back to the corner and tastes Haye power, he will hope Penfold is there to save him in round 2. Haye's a shithouse and only talks big when he faces smaller guys. Right. So Valiev was small, 7 foot, 7'1". Audie Harrison, Vitaly Klitschko. Oh, Vladimir Klitschko, sorry. I don't know what boxing you've been watching, mate. I don't know where you've been watching your boxing, but to be fair, he beat the 7-foot guy. You corrected yourself. Aha, no matter how useless he was. You know what I mean. Haye against Vitaly. You forget Haye's history. He went in there against Mormek, who was the unified champion. A lot of people thought Mormek was the man. I remember back in the day, you've got to look at history. Back in the day, Mormek was the man. Prime Vitaly, you mean? Yeah, I'd back him over Haye. And to be honest, I'd back the 2017 Vlad over Haye. Haye has his number. We're live. Boom. Hassan, I was at the weigh. Good for you, Hassan. Bellew looked in terrible shape. Bellew is in it for the money and to take a loss. He's in it for the money, is he? Really? He's in it for the... Indeed. Neil says, hello, Mr. Jones. Hassan said, I took a picture with Haye. He was actually a nice guy. Yeah, he does his PR bit, public relationship. Mike is Ingram knows what's up. So does Russell. Any logical boxing fans? I know what's up. Haye inside 3. Marky Bier, Team Khan in it. Skype. Reese Mason says hello. Hey Reese, how you doing, buddy? I was just talking to Spencer Ferron, and he said Haye is shot. Marky Bier says you don't have to be logical to see Haye wins. Timatap, yes, Ingram, good work with the great coverage. Thank you very much, appreciated. Honest Bob, good to see you in the room. Vander G, good to see you in the room. Spencer Ferron is a matchroom. Yes, man, unfortunate. And if he worked for that box station, he'd be miles better and allowed to express his real opinions. Didn't Ferron say Gary Russell Jr. would beat Tyson Fury? Nobody listens to Ferron anyway. He said David Haye's going to try and get him out of there in the first round. Yep. He's not going to try. He probably will do. Usyk versus Haye. No, I'm not going to talk about that. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's pumped up, Ingram. Anonymous says his power had improved at least. Haye's right hand is equivalent to an atomic bomb. When he lands, Bellew will know what's up. Haye could make cruiserweight, just would have to lay off the peds for a while. Mikey Bier says Bellew is badly out of shape. Tell me when Bellew's ever looked like he's in shape. Mikey says, remember when Clevy was on the ropes for 6 rounds and that kind of was there for the taking? Bellew was podgy, sloppy, and couldn't finish. Awful. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Hassim said he was new at the weight, Ingram, when he fought Clevy. Look at what he's done in his last 2 fights. You're only as good as your last fight. Makabu's weighing 13 stone something, and he was out of the ring for a year. And BJ Flores, who was his best win? Yeah, of course. Tremendous performance. Remember, muscles are more oxygen and tire quickly. Remember, it's how the muscles are built. You look at David Haye, he's explosive with his thing, and it's speed and power. It's not all weight. You've got to look at your twitch muscle, and David Haye's got fast twitch muscle. It's different towards look at Joshua. His body beautiful, but he's stiff. You look at David Haye's got good upper body movement. So that that's just something that somebody has said and you've just picked up and just ran with. There are 2 types of body. you've got muscle. You've got the fast twitch muscle, which allows you to do, like, you do weights, but you do light weights, but really quickly. And then you've got the different type of muscle, again, built where you're doing big, heavy weights. Okay. And you can't go fast with those because they're heavy weights. You see, that makes you big and strong and bulky. But they don't, you can't be explosive with them. That's why you got guys like Joshua who look kind of stiff. No disrespect to Joshua, but he's stiff in compared to David Haye, in comparison to Tyson Fury, who is nimble and good upper body movement. And Joshua hasn't got that. That's going to be a downfall when he fights Klitschko, because hasn't got good upper body movement. He's not going to be able to slip away from the jab like the way Tyson Fury was able to. But I digress. So hope Bellew pulls it off, but don't see. See, a lot of people that are hoping Bellew pulls it off. There's a difference. They're hoping Bellew pulls it off because they don't like David Haye. Say that, and I'll say, okay, yeah, I understand. You don't like David Haye, so you hope that Tony Bellew can do something. That's one thing. But to actually sit down and say, yeah, Bellew's going to win this fight, it's going to take him second half of the fight, and he's going to not get hit, and that is not logical. Yeah. Well, Hassim, BJ Flores went down very easily. Fixed fight in my eyes. Set up Haye Bellew perfectly. Coincidence. LOL. Money fight. That's why. Flores says he was hit in the balls and he saw bollocks for months and needed pills. That's pretty true. If he was dynamite puncher, he'd stop Masnick like Droys did. Hassim chatting shit. It was not set up. Bellew punched low, which led to it. The low blows was not that low. Exactly. Either way you look at it, was not a legit KO. Jordan Anderson, Bellew was very easy to hit in BJ Flores fight. If Haye can hit him that easy, it's over in one. Thank you, Jordan. Anonymous, Bellew has got a lot of KOs lately since going up to cruiserweight. Yeah, but he's at heavyweight now. He's not cruiserweight. Flores jabbed his head off and Bellew was wide open for the right hand. Agreed. KOs. Hassim said he won't fight Reckless because he didn't respect BJ Flores' power. Yeah? All right. When he gets cornered, which he will get cornered, David will drive a right hand straight through. I keep saying it to you. I think the fight could go like the Adonis Stevenson fight. Yeah, but quicker. Team one time, indeed. Mike is Ingram spot on. Calling the bullshit as usual. Love it. I've told you about Thurman Garcia in my previous video. Garcia by KO. Hope Keith wins. That's bollocks. Bellew has always been bad defensively. Masnick, Flores, cleverly all jabbed his head off. There you go. I think Bellew will fire some low blows like in the Flores fight. Okay. You can think of many things. I know that if David hits him on the chin, he's going over. Bellew carries power. Yeah, he does. And maybe a light heavyweight and cruiserweight. He does at cruiserweight, to be fair. Bellew is not in proper shape for this fight. Thank you. Dave Colwell told Pav from PSB Sports that Bellew wants a dogfight. What did Pav ask him? Pav not question that. Did Pav not question and ask him, when has Tony been in a dogfight against a puncher like David Haye ever in his life? Oh, dogfight. Well, why didn't he go into a dogfight against Stevenson, who's got a questionable chin himself? Come on, talk to me. You ask the question. When somebody says something, follow up. That's why when I'm doing interviews, I'm not disrespecting anybody here, but when I'm interviewing somebody and somebody puts something out and says blah 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 blah, I don't sit there and say, all right, mate, fine. I'll say, okay, that's what you said. Well, here's the evidence here of what's happened. Here's evidence here of what's happened, and it doesn't quite relate to what you're saying. Engage me. So tell me how this happened. He couldn't get in a dogfight of Stevenson at light heavyweight, right? He tried to get into a dogfight against Makabu, and what happened? Wasn't he told but at the beginning of the fight against Makabu, he was predicted to get knocked? People told he was going to get knocked out by Makabu. Remember that? Makabu was a big puncher. Makabu put him down, and if Makabu put him down, think about this. Makabu's was 13.5 stone that night. Think about when David lands. My God. Oh. Anyway, I'll move on. I mean, you listen to this. I mean, all right. So Colwell says he's going to take him to a dogfight. Colwell also thought that Price was Wade should weigh 20 stone. Colwell also said when Price got hurt and went back to the corner, go for a walk. I do not say anymore. Heavyweight version of Haye, don't use the jab. Cruiserweight version of Haye, use the jab and want to go to the body. Copindo 9, come back and tell me that after the fight. Nah, Colwell throws a towel in once Bellew gets rocked in the corner. Sounds like it. Bellew's just going to run until he gets knocked out. There you go. People gassing Haye up too much when he KOs Bellew. Casuals will be wanking into oblivion. Well, that being said, the spectacular knockout, we'll have to put it in perspective. This is a blown up cruiserweight he fought. But David Haye's told you that. So, and it's not like he hasn't knocked out heavyweight. So let's not confuse things here. This is not Gennady Golovkin we're talking here. This is a bona fide guy that's been a heavyweight champion of the world and has campaigned at heavyweight for a long time. All right, isn't just got to the weight new. So let's put things in their proper perspective. Bellew called this fight out. David Haye wasn't chasing Bellew. Get things in perspective, please. Thank you, Mikey. Heavyweight version of Haye does use the jab, and he used it a lot more under McGuigan. Thank you, Mikey. I think the British boxing, it's best if David Haye wins, because Tony can only go back to cruiserweight. If Haye wins, were to lose, big fights with him and Joshua would be ruined. Not going to happen, mate. So don't even worry about it. Haye's one-dimensional, and what's to hit you with the right hand. His jab is low, so you don't expect it. Then he hits you with the right hand. You believe that Hassim? Wait until Saturday night. Frotch reckons Bellew going to give Haye a beatdown. Frotch is going to say what he wants, but then turn around and put a bet on Haye for the KO. What they are paid to remember, just think this out a second. Sky in a position to sell you the pay-per-view fight. Remember, they're still selling the pay-per-view fight. They need to get those numbers up. Eddie Hearn and all at Sky need to get the numbers up. And if everyone's talking the truth and saying, you know what, Bellew's going to get splattered. This is a mismatch. This ain't a good fight. Bellew is not a heavyweight. Bellew can't punch a heavyweight. Listen, Bellew got chipped by Stevenson. If you got a whole heap of people queued up like that, pay-per-view numbers are going to go, ooh. And instead of pushing the red button, I'll say, you know what, I'll watch it on the replay. I'll watch it on a stream. I'm just talking real talk here. If you had 42 of those media people that said that Bellew's going to get smashed to bits, if those 42 people were on Sky and Sky pundits or in the media were saying, Bellew's going to get chinned, Bellew's going to get chinned, Bellew's going to get chinned. If those 42 people, you wouldn't even tune into the fight, it would disgust you. But you need to have good old Johnny Nelson saying, I can see how Bellew win this fight. I told you, did I not tell you that they would say that? Spencer Ferron's got to say what he's done because he's a Sky man. He's getting paid by Sky. But Spencer's a smart man. He knows history of boxing. He understands Bellew's getting sparked. But Ferron's got to say that to sell the pay-per-view numbers. Or he'll get added to saying, we want to see a mouth-watering clash here. It's going to be intriguing. But it'll be even more intriguing if you don't do what I tell you to do and talk garbage. Well, you see, this is what it is. This is what it is. I can't be more honest to you than that. So don't buy into the pay-per-view garbage. All right? Remember, these were the same people that told and tell you that Brook is going to be bigger and stronger at middleweight and he's going to beat Gennady Golovkin. Did he what? These are the same people that sold you that Amir Khan was going to move up to middleweight and dare to be great and beat Canelo. What happened? One right hand later, it's poor Amir Khan. Listen, once the pay-per-view's been hit, once that red button's been hit and it's showtime, then the truth might start to come out. Once they've hit the red button. Once you've hit the red button and it's showtime and they're making a ring walk, that's when the truth will come out. But by then it's too late because you've bought your pay-per-view. That's how the pay-per-view wise go. Sorry, people. Hearn is using Bellew to see what Haye has got left. Yep. In my opinion, he's facing increased pressure to make the Haye AJ fight, and Hearn will do anything to either delay or make the fight, not make the fight at all. If he beats Bellew in one punch, who cares? We will all have caught the mismatch of the century, of course. Yeah, but Ingram, I disagree. Well, you're entitled to disagree. Hey, this anonymous Hassim says Haye will definitely lose to Tyson Fury. He will school him like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury even going to come back in the ring? Why are you even talking about Tyson Fury? The guy is 300 pounds. As far as I'm concerned, it's an invalid. Like Tyson Fury needs to get himself back in the ring. He needs to lose those 300 pounds. He needs to get back in the ring, and we need to see what he is like now in 2017. Does he even want to box again? So Tyson, I don't want to hear about Tyson Fury. Now, he did great against Klitschko. That's it. He did great against Klitschko. The rematch never happened. If buts, maybes. Judging on his performance against Klitschko, yes, he's the best heavyweight. He's the best heavyweight in the world. Klitschko's back. Klitschko is the #1 heavyweight in the world. I don't hear about Tyson Fury. That's just, sorry. No disrespect to Tyson, but he's not boxing at the moment. He's not relevant in heavyweight division at the moment. Every time I watch Wild, so Michael Sims says Bellew. Frank Buglioni, before he signed with Matchroom, said there's no chance Bellew wins. Now he's with Matchroom. He said it's an interesting fight, just pure bollocks. Thank you, Mikey. Copied and I at Neo Funk. Hearn will care because he will be forced to make the AJ fight against his wishes. There you go. Carl Thompson was a hard nut, indeed. Don't want to talk about Tyson Fury. Exactly, Ingram. This is what I've been saying. For Haye to tie, he will need to engage like White did to Joshua. If he does engage, he will get chinned. There's no way Bellew can win. I'm going to go back to the Cunningham thing here and just talk about Tyson getting dropped by Cunningham. Tyson got dropped by Cunningham because if you look, his both hands were down by his side and he was off balance when he got caught with the shot. I'm not saying it was a good shot, but Cunningham threw the punch from the back of the arena, 15.5 stone. And I think Cunningham, 15.5 stone, hitting you on the chin with your hands down by your side, relaxed. Didn't brace himself for the shot. Of course you're going to get knocked down. What are you talking about? Don't talk about Fury. Tony Bellew could only wish that he had Carl Thompson's chin. I agree there. If Bellew survives the first 6, somehow he'll be in round 7, down 6 rounds, and Haye will be boxing at his own pace and far from Clyde. Agreed. Yeah, just mentioned Fury weighs over 300 pounds right now. Irrelevant to the heavyweight division. Allen in 10th. I like Dave Allen. Even if David has regressed badly, they do say the last thing to leave a man is his power. I don't think David Haye's regressed, but we'll see. Be interested to see if David Haye's footwork and hand speed have returned. Now he's dropped that bulk from the last 2 fights. Will be. He's still got power, maybe lost a little speed and movement. If Haye were active in the last 6 years at heavyweight, this would be no doubt a complete mismatch. But it stands Haye has just as many questions on him as Tony, who at least has been active at cruiserweight. Ref will stop it early. I agree. And it's there that the conversation will be said between Bellew and Colwell. Listen, mate, if I see you getting hurt, I'm going to stop the fight. That's what Colwell will tell Bellew as he's walking to the arena. Trust me, that will be said. And the referee will be a strong referee. That if Bellew gets hurt, Ian John Lewis stops the fight before it even starts. So you might have Ian John Lewis in the ring there. Ingram, I told Ross. Ingram, I know Ross told you to bet on round 1, 2. Bookies short on odds. They know that Haye will put his foot on the pedal early. Wow, 1 record blitz, Ingram. Yeah, I see 1 round. The fact Haye has taken the fight says everything you need to know. You don't want to sabotage that Joshua money, taking risks against someone like Briggs. Man's talking sense there, Adam Scott. I'll tell you again, Colwell throws in the towel as soon as Bellew wobbles in the corner. Neo Funk says it'll be good if Klitschko just beats the lot of these AJ and Hayes and reigns supreme again. Would be. Don't think it's gonna happen. Core 2971 says good fight for Haye to get back in the casuals. Get in with the casuals. Physique is looking great for 36. Yep. Well, what about Shannon Briggs? His physique looks great for 45. Bellew won't wobble. He'll be on the floor. I agree. Ref will be told to stop it on the first battering. I said the same thing. I ballistic cat. So I agree with you. Modern broadcast. Bellew's going over the top rope. Says Modern Broadcast. Never been sparked out though, guys. All right. Hold that as your confidence and go and put your money on Tony Bellew. Go on. Go and put your money in Tony Bellew, son. Go put your money in Tony Bellew, Anonymous. Haye will get disqualified for headbutt to ref. I don't know about that bit. Why is everyone crying about Haye trash talk? LOL. I don't know. Coping 09. Ballistic talk. Totally agree, but Haye has talked up a great build-up. Bellew always talked great in fights. He's the pay-per-view king in the UK for talking crap. Bellew will adopt all the Harrison tactics. Modern Broadcast says David Haye has sold this fight. England, go to the top of chat. I am doing that now. I'm talking to. I'm pulling out people's comments now. No doubt, Haye favourite. Just pointing out the facts. Thank you, Anonymous. Anyone putting a bet on? Well, Demori would beat Bellew. Anyone agree? Probably yes. Digger beat Demori. We know that. Ingram, does Hubert take Haye's right hand? I don't know. Bellew would flatten these two as well. What the F? Demori beats him for sure. Size. AJ in the summer, massive. AJ in the summer, AJ's got to pass Klitschko, and that's, I don't see that happening. Sorry. One of Haye's opponents was knocked down by a jab. Haye went the distance against the heavyweight bogeyman Klitschko, so Vlad couldn't KO him, but Bellew will. Nonsense, it's Nobel cauliflower. Nigel Benn lasted against McLennan first round and won. Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. Anonymous, Copides talking to Anonymous says Bellew will go rounds with these two, mate. It's as simple as that. Exactly, Ingram. This is what I've been saying. For Haye to tie it, he'll need to engage like White did to Joshua. If he does engage, he will get chinned. There's no way Bellew can win. Mike, is the finger should be pointed to Eddie Hearn, Dave Caldwell, Adam Smith, Barney Francis, and Bellew himself. I hope Bellew comes out of it okay, to be honest. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying, Modern Broadcast. Jordan Anderson says, I would get knocked up for millions, to be fair. Really? Do you know what it's like to get hit by David Haye? Coping don't know and Modern Broadcast. They signed up as kids knowing the risk, so nothing to feel sorry for. Noble cauliflower. Haye will KO Bellew if it goes to empty his tank. He will get him out of there on pure pressure. If Bellew has 10 warm-up fights at heavyweight, he would still lose, says iBallistic. Anonymous says, no, White didn't pressure him. He just went for a street fight. So if White didn't pressure him, how can you have a street fight? If you're going backwards, that's not pressure. Forwards is pressure. Forwards throwing punches is pressure. What are you talking about, Anonymous? I've no idea. I've been going on it for years, says Modern Broadcast. I remember when Matchroom put John Simpson of Super Bantamweight in with John Murray at lightweight, and that was 3 years ago. Oh, I'm not engaging no more, Anonymous. I'm sorry. Is Colwell going to have the towel ready for it, like Ingle did for Brooke? Going for a street fight is pressuring. Thank you, Mikey. Oh dear. Colwell becomes irrelevant after this fight. Do you think Bellew has the power to KO Haye? No. Match will be in big shit. Triple G and Brooke was a bad mismatch. Brooke broke his eye socket. The Scouser fighters letting Colwell down. Ingram, I said he will put Bellew to sleep. I said so too. Value of his shit. Right, value of his shit. Okay. Klitschko's never fought him. Klitschko's never fought him. Do you know why Klitschko's never fought him? Because they didn't like the idea of fighting someone who's taller than themselves. And my answer to that, if you say I'm talking shit, well, Tyson Fury is taller than Vladimir, and look what happened. Ingram, answer the questions. Does Usyk take Haye's right hand? I don't know. My man DJ Slick is in the room. He's in the house. DJ Slick is in the house, people. Good to see you in the room, DJ Slick. As soon as I'm in the room, bro. It's a mouth-watering fight. We all know this. Bellew's mouth-watering for real. When he's laid out on the floor and Price holding the towels, wiping up the dribble. Coping the 9 to Hashem. Why did Klitschko's duck Valiev then? They had plenty of time to take his belt. Thank you very much. I'm glad someone else has just backed up my statement. 15-2 first round. The Klitschkos would have definitely beat Valiev. Oh, they might have beaten him, yeah, but they didn't take the fight. Valiev lost to 80-year-old Evander Holyfield, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, who beat Valiev. Yeah, undisputed. But, you know, Holyfield also beat Rudy Bode. Also beat Nakamura. I don't know where you're going with that comment. I think Bellew will last longer than a round. He's been trained for 3 months. He has to last. Good evening, all. Gulps. Haye looks in terrific shape. You're the one who's backing Bellew, isn't it? Everyone knows Bellew will lose, but we all want to find if Bev Haye is still a great fighter. Laugh my head out loud. Garcia K, are you kidding me? No, I'm not K. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you because you asked me. Look, I'm trying to work the logic out here. And I love my man Keith Thurman, right? And I've been studying Keith for years. Before Keith was even on the radar, most of you fight fans today understand something. Keith Thurman has knocked. Who's he knocked out of welterweight? Who has he knocked out of welterweight? One. He's going to knock out Danny Garcia. Oh, okay. Well, here's the facts. He didn't knock down Sean Porter. Broner did, and Broner's a light welterweight at best. He didn't knock down Laclazzo. Khan knocked him down 5 times, or 4 or 5 times. Danny Garcia has never been knocked out. He's got a great chin. Cow has a big punch. All right. You need to be. Listen, Thurman. As soon as Thurman realizes he can't hurt Garcia, he's going to go onto the back foot, and it's going to be Garcia's fight. Okay, we'll wait and see. Wait and see. Garcia getting KO'd. Thurman. When's the last? Who has Thurman knocked out? And I'm a Thurman fan. Who has Thurman knocked out? Go box wreck it. Go box wreck it. The last guy stopped. He stopped Colazzo in the corner, but Colazzo had his best round and hurt Thurman with a body shot. Diaz was retired on a stool. Listen, I'm telling you. But all right. Thurman wins split decision. If he goes to decision, do you really think Thurman's going to win? Judging on Garcia's previous fights, Garcia is Al Heyman's golden boy. Sorry, don't see it. Garcia was underdog against Khan, Matisse, Peterson, and won all. He has been underestimated many times and won. You're talking about a guy who was unified light welterweight champion, moved up, became WBC champion. Thurman is when you look at the two guys, Thurman's got a weak resume next to Garcia. Garcia's fought Tudor, Lucas Matisse, Khan. Thurman's not going to hit. When you face the hand speed of Khan, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I don't see it somehow. Haymaker's going to slaughter him. I've never doubted it. When I first said it, I laughed so much. Too many believe the hype. A lot of those at 140, not 147. Yes, but who has Thurman knocked out at 147? Talk to me. These casuals don't know shit about boxing. Thurman will do his homework, not underestimating. Thurman power far superior, too light on the Danny Garcia on left hook. Okay, fair enough. Keith, a good boxer. Garcia counter puncher will look for a big shot all night. Thurman points. Anonymous, good point. Great fight for TV. When you say Haye wasn't chasing Bellew well, why did Haye keep texting Bellew after the Flores fight, saying well done and we can set up a fight? Who told you that? Bellew going to get hurt badly. Mixed Master Dodger. Ingram can't wait for Saturday. LOL. Your third preview show in 2-3 days. I know I'm doing it because I keep being asked over and over and over again. So I keep doing them. Stream, of course, Hassan and Clifton Mitchell. Oh dear. Stream for the win. Only casuals pay-per-view. Ref will be under strict control to stop it. Quick, boring fight. True. Stream will go. Might watch updates on teletext. AJ beats. Okay, let me skip all this. Haye going to close down Matchroom. Well, I don't know if Haye will close down Matchroom, but it could be a start of closing down Matchroom because if Haye beats Bellew and Joshua gets KO'd by Klitschko, gonna wonder where's the Matchroom pay-per-view star? Talk to me. Leon Jones, good to see you in the room. All these people keep talking about Luis Ortiz. He's never fought a heavyweight puncher yet, but you keep talking about Luis Ortiz. Would Haye beat Klitschko now? Let's talk about that after Haye, after Klitschko deals with Joshua and Haye deals with Bellew. We can talk about that, but it doesn't mean anything. Bellew has been stopped by someone at 175 and slower than Haye. It's a horrible fight. Time does your post-fight show start? Can you stream the fight with added commentary? Barrow Biggins, step aside. Would love to do the commentary, but because there's so many worms and snakes and backstabbing rats that are across the boxing universe, the minute I streamed it, the minute I tried to stream it, I attempted to stream it, some worm, some snake, you know who you are, will go back and say, Eddie, he's streaming the fight. Had some rat today trying to do it to me because I gave out a link to a fight that was being streamed that I didn't stream. So I really and truly would love to do it. There's too many rats and two-faced people in boxing. But what I will do is do I'll probably commentate on the fight live, and then afterwards do something like add my voice to something. I'll do something, right? But I can't do that because the streaming is too many rats in boxing. Sorry. Peggy Mitchell, Matchroom is done. It's all a game, and they're all in on it. Frank's turn for the next 5 years, starting in the summer. That's interesting. Ingram get a ban hammer out on this Peggy the Troll. Nah, I don't know. Let's hear what Peggy's got to say for a second. Let's not jump on it. Frank Warren is making Martinez Warrington like it's 2013. Screw their opinion. Screw Eddie Hearn's team stream. R.I.P. Bellew and Matchroom. Who's the worst chin ever in boxing other than Khan? Worst chin in boxing. Raheem Noble. After what I saw the other night of Raheem Noble, then. "2017 looks bad." It does. Right. I think I'm done in terms of the Haye Bellew weigh-in thoughts. Check out the Bayloric TV exclusive, or when we visit Sheffield Boxing Centre. Check that out. I think it's a really good thing. You'll get to learn a little bit more about the history of Sheffield Boxing and Clean Roads. It was a fantastic trip down memory lane, and while we were around the gym. So check it out. Papa Bear, hi, just joined. Hi, Papa Bear. Eddie signed a lot of new Olympians ready to make them next pay-per-view stars. Really? So how many pay-per-view stars did he have with the last set of Olympians? Yeah, there's like Kell Brooks, a pay-per-view star, and Tony Bellew's a pay-per-view star. And who else? Sam Egerton's a pay-per-view star, and Scotty Cardell's a pay-per-view star. You can't have pay-per-view stars if you don't build your fighters. If you keep throwing your fighters out to the walls, you're not building your fighters up. Doesn't know how to build fighters. Knows how to put them in mismatches. Knows how to sell a fraud fight. That's fine. But he doesn't know how to build fighters. Okay. Look, Dennis Hobson. Dennis Hobson knows how to build fighters. All right. Brings them back from the dead. Fighters that people are not interested in turn up and become world champions. So Hearn doesn't know how to build a fighter yet. And don't say he's built Anthony Joshua, because look at Anthony Joshua has fought nobody of note and is going to fight one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I still recognize Klitschko as that. So, hi, dude. This is my first time. Let me give you a salute. You are breaking your virginity in the Bayloric world. Worst chin was Darren Barker. Absolute joke. Would regularly get dropped in sparring by amateurs. Oh dear. This guy sounds like a bit of an insider. Or this girl, Peggy. UFC experimenting problems controlling the use of PEDs. Barker was a terrible fighter. Never rated him. Oh, come on. That's a bit harsh. Louis DeBella was brought on Wilder very well. He has immense resume. Yep. Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. It was interesting to see Bright Jennings in the UK. It looks like they're going to try and make Bright Jennings Dillian White. I wouldn't advise that fight for Dillian White. I really wouldn't advise that fight. Football manager tonight, I reckon. I reckon so too. I'll get a couple of hours in tonight, I think. I need to relax. I got to get his hay. For those of you tuning in, Dillian White, Bright Jennings. I think Bright Jennings beats Dillian White personally. I actually spoke to Bright tonight. I spoke to him for about 10-15 minutes. So shout out to Bright Jennings, brother. If you're watching, shout out to you. So yeah. Do you think Jermaine Taylor has been avoided by Gennady Golovkin? I think that deserves. That was good. I just got that. That was good. That was good. Talking rubbish. Talking rubbish. Ingram, it's because you had him on this show. Not really. I've had other people on the show that I didn't think would win. Brett Jennings doesn't hit hard enough. Yeah, go tell Fedorov that. Go tell. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. I really like Bright, another man who has been lied about by Hearn and his bullshit. Here you go. A lot of Bayloric fighters seem to be coming up now, don't they? Have you noticed? Interesting. Peggy, tell Ingram how bad Barker really was. Who do you rate as number 1, 2, and 3 in the heavyweight division? Klitschko 1. And this is based on who they fought, who they've beat, who they've beat, and what they've done. Klitschko 1. between Povetkin and Pulev 2, based on who they've fought and what they've done. Wilder 3, based on who they fought and what they've done. And then it gets sketchy after that. I know Povetkin's. I can't. Fury's not number one. Fury's not. Stop that Fury talk. Stop it. Stop the Fury talk. Man is 300 pounds. Forget the Fury. Stop the Fury talk. Right? It is what it is. The man is 300 pounds in a kebab shop. Forget Tyson Fury. When he comes back and he fights again and he's in shape and he's a professional fighter and he's with us, we can take Tyson. Tyson is not in the equation. Forget Tyson Fury. Povetkin's banned, yes, I know, but Povetkin was only just recently active. So Povetkin, forget his ban, but who's he, like I said, what he's fought, what he's done, Povetkin's 2 or 3, depending if you think Povetkin could beat Pulev. Haye is in the top 4 for me. Haye is in the top 4 for me. He's got to be in the top 4. Daniel Gill is pound for pound legitimate KO puncher according to Abel's 10% Sanchez. Do you remember that interview I did with Abel Sanchez? And I was talking to Abel, and Abel said to me, "Oh, you know, going into the Gill fight, people thought that Daniel Gill had a great chance of beating Gennady Golovkin, and it was his most dangerous fight to date." I said, "Mate," I said, "Abel, you can't tell me that. You can sell that to other people. Who did Gill knock out in his career? Darren Barkov, of course." Oh man. What's going on here? Give me this, I'm done. Ingram, will GGG ever go up to 168? Not when he's with Abel Sanchez, he won't. Because that's Mr. 10%. Mr. 10% don't want to lose 10%. So, you know, I don't think so. I'm going to ask Sanchez anyway. Yeah, Sanchez rated, who did he rate? He rated Macklin. He said Macklin was Golovkin's most dangerous opponent. He said Dominic Wade was Golovkin's most dangerous opponent. He said Gill was his most dangerous opponent. He said Brook was his most dangerous opponent. Listen, Jacobs is his most dangerous opponent. Natural middleweight that can punch. Prime Froch 168 beats Golovkin. Prime Froch gets hit a lot. Fury's out at the kebab shop having one out with Erkin Tepper, LOL. On the Dole is one of the best comments I've ever heard. The best light heavyweight in the world fights tonight. Chad Dawson is back. Oh my god. Oh no. This conversation is getting very, very ropey. After GG beats Jacobs, Mr. 10% Sanchez will say Golovkin beat the next Trey Taylor. Well, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask him. You know me and Abel Sanchez get into it, and I'm gonna ask Abel about Mr. 10%. I'm gonna ask him about the Mr. 10% thing. You know, I'm gonna ask him, and you know it's gonna be a cracking interview because I'm gonna ask him. So, Mr. 10%. I love talking to Abel because give it and he can take it, and he knows it's all in banter and it's all in hype. So, I love Abel Sanchez. Mr. 10%. Golovkin is part of DeGale's camp. Look at the bloke called Jimmy Mack Jr. Open your eyes, people. The fake Borat accent is a giveaway. You're funny. Peggy's funny. Klitschko number 1. AJ number 2. No. Where's AJ come to number 2? So AJ's better than Povetkin. He's better than Pulev. He's better than Haye. He's better than Thurman. No, he's not. AJ's not number 2. That's fanboy talk. I'm sorry. He's higher than Wilder. Wilder's for Ariola. He's for, you say what you want. He's for Ariola. He's for Duhaupas. He's for, well, he fought Molina. He fought Thurman. Look, why the hell is AJ number 2? So he's better than Povetkin, and he's better than Pulev, and he's better than Thurman, and he's better than Haye. Yeah, right. Of course he is, AJ. Dawson looking in his best shape ever, though. Look, yeah, but it's not physical with Dawson, it's mental, I think, with Dawson's issue. I'd say Joshua's better than Thurman and Pulev. Really? Let me ask you a question. If Pulev, if Thurman hit Joshua that left hook, what do you think would have happened? Yep. And remember, Thurman knocked out Price in the amateurs. He's got no problems fighting big men. Vladimir lost only to Fury. He dominated most of the current most of the current division. He has to be number 1. Agreed, Leon Jones. All right. I think I'm done here with the Haye versus Bellew weigh-in and final thoughts live. Yes, and Joshua is much better boxer than Thurman. Thurman landed the left hook and Wilder did nothing. Oh dear. Oh my God. Thurman would do worse than White versus AJ. I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for watching Bayloric White Television's Haye versus Bellew weigh-in and final thoughts. For those of you who've been wanting to tune in and waiting for so long, I think I will have a game of Foot Manager tonight because my head is starting to spin. What don't I agree with? That Steve White's performance. Dillian White, who was injured, his left shoulder was injured before he fought Joshua. That when he landed the left hook, that Steve would have fought worse against Joshua that night. Oh dear, just oh dear. You know what? I'm going to put for manager on. You guys, thank you all so much for watching Bayloric White Television. Coming up next, not you, Mikey, somebody else. Don't forget to check out the videos done, the recent videos in Sheffield. There's some good ones there. What do I think of Dave Allen? Oh, yeah, I wish Dave Allen well tomorrow night against what's his name? David Howe, who we've got featured on the channel. Check out his last fight, the return of Gaia. Check out his last fight on this channel. David Howe versus Thomas Mazarak. Do you think if the fight gets interesting, if Bellew makes it past 5 rounds? No, because he would have run. Boxing enthusiast, great to have you in the room. I'm leaving now. So don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. It's important that you hit that subscribe button because when you hit the subscribe button, when we go live, you'll know about it. You'll get an inbox to let you know that we're live. Right, I'm out of here now. The next broadcast will be Football Manager Live, and I think we're going to do a little something different tonight. I think I might build a Bayloric TV football team, but I'm out of here now. I'll see you all soon. Take care.